Oh my God, it looks so fancy. That is so good. I could eat this every single day. I haven't had meat in a long time, but it tastes like meat. It's a little unnerving. Welcome back everyone to another episode of In the Kitchen with the Korean Vegan. That's me, Joanne Molinaro, and today I'm so excited. We're gonna be working with one of my favorite ingredients. It's called lentils. You've probably heard of them. I love lentils because they are so high in protein, and my least favorite question as a vegan is, where do you get your protein? Well, one of them is lentils. So we're gonna talk about lentils today. Now, what are lentils? Well, lentils are sometimes referred to as pulses, and sometimes people think of them as beans, but they're not technically beans, although they do fall into the same category as beans, like legume. So we've got black beans, soybeans, peas, peanuts, these are all legumes, and lentils are also legumes. So where do a lot of people eat lentils? Well, lentils is very prevalent in Mediterranean cuisine, Indian cuisine, and Middle Eastern cuisine. And again, one of my favorite things about lentils is just how much protein you're gonna get out of it. Lentils have 18 grams of protein for just 1 cup. And even more impressively, you get 16 grams of fiber with that same amount of lentils. Why is fiber important? Well, do you know anyone in your family who might struggle with type 2 diabetes? Or is there a worry against heart disease? Fiber, studies have shown, is one of the best things you can put into your body to protect against heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and other diseases related to a lack of control over your insulin. Some believe that fiber is actually the secret ingredient to long and healthy life. Have you ever heard of the blue zones? The blue zones are where the most number of people have lived past 100 years old. And guess what the common ingredient in all of their diets was? Fiber, and in many cases, lentils. In some, lentils have kind of flown under the radar as sort of like a poor man's food, but if you want, it could actually be your super secret, delicious source of really healthy nutrients. The other thing about lentils, it's super cheap. I was actually able to pick up an entire pound of these green lentils for only $3. So how many different kinds of lentils are there? Well, we're not going to talk about every single different kind of lentil out there, but we are going to talk about 3. I've got here some brown lentils or green lentils. Sometimes they're referred to brown interchangeably. We also have here some red lentils, and we also have some split pea pigeon peas, which we're going to talk about, okay? You can also find black lentils and dark brown lentils. There are so many different kinds of lentils that you can find if you really dig deep. However, in most local grocery stores, there are going to be 2 kinds that are most readily available, and that's going to be these green lentils and the red lentils. If you're looking for yellow lentils, you may have some trouble finding them at your local grocery store. I certainly did. But what they do have are these yellow split peas. Yellow split peas are technically not lentils, but in many of the recipes that call for yellow lentils, these split peas are gonna do just fine. They're also legumes. Well, what's the difference between these 3 colors? Well, let's talk first about these green lentils. As you can see, they're whole. They still have their shell on them. This makes green lentils especially durable and sturdy, which means that they will retain their shape even after they're cooked. I love using green lentils, therefore, for like salads and rice bowls or hearty stews because, again, they're not going to turn directly into mush. They're going to save their shape. Now, what about these red lentils? Well, as you can see, in contrast to the green lentils, they're called split. And by split, that means that they have removed the shells from them and have been split in half. So practically speaking, this means it's going to take far less time to cook than the green lentils. The other thing about red lentils is because they've been split, they're not going to retain their shape. As soon as they start to cook, they're going to get soft and tender, and some might even call mushy. So the best way to use red lentils, in my opinion, is for soups, either to thicken the soup or to give it that sort of kind of rustic texture because of how it gets really nice and soft after it's been cooked. Another thing about red lentils, they're sometimes referred to the sweet lentil. So unlike the green lentil, which has sort of a peppery taste, your red lentil is gonna have a sweeter, nuttier flavor. Now, what about these split yellow peas, or yellow split peas, if you will, or even yellow lentils? Well, as the name suggests, split peas, like the red lentils, they have already been shelled and they are split in half. I love to use yellow lentils for dal, which is a traditional Indian recipe. It's one of my favorite Indian dishes, and we're actually going to be doing a video on dal very soon. So today we are going to be meal prepping with green lentils, and I'm going to show you a really quick and easy way to cook these lentils and then cook some vegetables and other items to use with those lentils the next time you are in the need for a protein-packed, nutritious, delicious, quick and easy meal. And we're gonna add our lentils to the pot along with some water, and then we're just gonna stick it on the stove. But before we're gonna do that, one important thing to note is when you get lentils like this, you wanna make sure that you give these a really, really good rinse, especially whole green lentils, because some of the time the shells will be kind of peeling off, a little bit wrinkled, and you wanna make sure that you remove those before you start cooking them. So we've rinsed our lentils, and we're just gonna dump them into my little sauce pot here. And next, we're just gonna add enough water to submerge the lentils. So I've got here about 4 cups of water, just like that. I'm gonna add a very healthy pinch of cracked sea salt here, and then I got these gorgeous bay leaves. I mean, look at this bay leaf. So I'm gonna stick a little bay leaf in here, not a little, a huge bay leaf in my pot here. Look at how gorgeous that looks. And then we're just gonna stick it on the stove top, let it come to a boil, and as soon as it comes to a boil, just like when you cook rice, you're gonna let it simmer. But that's it. That's all you have to do. And you're gonna let it simmer for about 30 minutes. All right, so our lentils are actually cooking on the stovetop now. Let's meal prep the remaining items. We've got here some kale, we've got here some cauliflower, we have some carrots, we have some asparagus, we've got some Brussels sprouts. Those cruciferous greens, those are gonna do so much good for your body. And we're gonna throw them all into the oven. It's gonna be super easy. Basically, you just chop a bunch of things, add a little bit of oil, and you throw them into the oven and done, okay? So I've gotten about, I would say, like 3 cups of Brussels sprouts heads. They're fully headed right now. I have trimmed the bottoms of them. That means I've just taken a small paring knife and trimmed the bottoms, and we're just going to cut all of them in half. And we're just gonna add a couple of things to jazz them up. First, we're gonna add about a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. There we go. We're gonna add a little bit of acid, and for my purposes, I'm using a little bit of balsamic vinegar. You can also use white wine vinegar. You can use a spritz of lemon juice. So we're just gonna put in probably about a teaspoon of the balsamic vinegar. And then of course, we're just gonna add a good pinch of salt. And we're also gonna add some fresh cracked black pepper. And that is it. Easy peasy. I have my stove on preheated 450 degrees Fahrenheit. So I've got here a really nice big baking sheet, and I'm just going to take my Brussels sprouts and I'm gonna spread them over, and we're just gonna stick them in our oven for about, I would say, 25 minutes. So we're basically just gonna repeat exactly what we did for the Brussels sprouts for our cauliflower, for our asparagus, and for our onions. That's basically the name of the game here. We're just gonna add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, a little bit of salt and pepper, put them on a baking sheet, and stick them in the oven. Smells so good. right, so now that we have finished meal prepping all of our roasted vegetables, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna prep the kale. Now I'm just gonna run my knife through it. If you guys don't like this sort of rib of the kale, you can certainly remove the leaves. I'm just gonna do that. Stick that in here. I've got here sort of like a deep wok type thing. It's a non-stick wok. This is one of my favorite pans. We're gonna turn the heat on to about medium high. And we're gonna add just a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. And we're gonna wait for that to get nice and hot. Okay, and we're gonna add our chopped up lacinato kale. That's the sound I like to hear, a nice little hiss. So now that our kale is nice and wilted down, we only cooked it for about 2 minutes. We're gonna take it off the heat. And while it's still sizzling, we're just gonna add a teeny drop of that balsamic, just like that. Perfect. So our lentils are finally beautifully cooked. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drain the lentils of that excess liquid. I'm just gonna pour this here. There we go. Wow, look at that. Now that is a ton of healthy, fiber-rich protein. So now that we've finished meal prepping everything, we've got a bunch of veggies, we've got our amazing lentils, and we've got some onions for flavor and umami. We're gonna use it all to make my favorite thing, which is a bowl, right? We're gonna start actually with some quinoa. I've just got some pre-made quinoa. You can stick this in your microwave. If you also wanna prep your own quinoa, that's great. It's just a little bit too complicated for me. So we're gonna start with that as like a base. Start with some of this lacinato kale here. Some of this gorgeous duo colored cauliflower here. Add some of our onions here. Oh, look at that, it looks so beautiful. And then finally, of course, we've got to add our star ingredient, our beautifully cooked green lentils here. I really can't eat any bowl without kimchi, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of vegan kimchi to my bowl. Not only will it add wonderful prebiotics, it's good for your gut, it's also gonna add this gorgeous color. Finally, we did have some gorgeous asparagus, so we're just gonna add maybe a couple of spears, just like that. Ooh, that, oh my God, it looks so fancy. Okay. So I've got here just my plain old store-bought miso dressing, and I'm just gonna add that a little bit, not a lot, like that. And then I'm just gonna add just a little bit more cracked black pepper. And that is our bowl. So I'm gonna just give it a little mix here, and we're gonna give it a taste test. Get some lentils, a little bit of quinoa, some of that Brussels sprout. That is so good. I could eat this every single day. I haven't had meat in a long time, but it tastes like meat. It's a little unnerving. Tastes like meat, especially when you combine it with all of the different vegetables. This is your quintessential healthy meal, and it's one that you're gonna go to all the time because it's so quick and easy to make. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed our episode on lentils and making this meal prepped protein-packed bowl. If you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button below, and of course, leave a comment. Tell me what you want to make next, and be sure to join us next time for In the Kitchen with the Korean Vegan. Bye!